Hi guys,
Hey.
welcome to our first YouTube video. Today, actually, thinking about the kind of topic we were going to talk about was inspired by my Uber driver the other day. We were just sitting chatting as we usually do with our Uber drivers about stuff and what I do, what he does, and how long he's been at Uber. And he was telling me about being listed on the credit reference bureau, and he didn't even know what that was. And it's actually a loan he forgot about. So I thought maybe there are a lot of people who have this question in their mind, and we could maybe help break it down so that it's easier and give you guys some tips about how you can go about that.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just jump in straight in. So what we want to communicate basically is just the basic information of what CRBs are, because as she said, she had an interaction with her Uber driver and realized that maybe they don't understand what a CRB is. And also from the sessions we've been having with university students, most of them don't know, as in maybe they think I shouldn't, maybe I don't take loans, so maybe I should not even bother about knowing what a CRB is and why being blacklisted is bad. But the thing is, I think in this life you need to always have knowledge at your fingertips, especially if it concerns you. So like getting to understand what a CRB is and if you're blacklisted is very important.
Yeah, actually. So we're going to give you a few steps about how you can go about this. We'll break down what it is, how you can check what your rights are, and then we'll put some links in the description below for you to then go and check and see what your status is.
Yeah.
So cool.
So Sadia, help us. What is a CRB? Try to explain it to me like I'm in nursery school. Make me understand that information.
So this is how I do it. A credit reference bureau, right? Most people have the perception that a credit reference bureau is the institution that lists you or that blacklists you. But that's not true. Actually, you have a relationship between you and your lender or your utility company. So you make payments to them for services they offer you. Could be loans, it could be your bills, water, electricity. And then if you don't pay back, they have to report that somewhere. And this place that they report that is a CRB. So there are actually like 3 people in this relationship of being listed, and the CRB is sort of like just an institution that receives the information. It's just a place to mark that this person has opened a loan or a relationship with this lender institution, and then when it's open, that information gets sent to them, and if you don't pay back, that information also gets sent to them. And if you never pay back the loan, you get what we call being blacklisted. Now, I don't think people understand what the consequences of being blacklisted are. It's actually quite serious. Maybe you should tell them what happens if you get blacklisted.
I think even the first thing is, why is a CRB important? Because it's a place where, as she said, like lenders and other institutions will go and send a report to them, depending on how you're behaving, maybe when it comes to repaying your loans or paying a pay bill. Repaying a bill. So when it comes to CRB, a CRB is very important, and the reason as to why you should know what it is and try and get your report is because, number one, you might be in a position where you've never taken a loan before, you've been paying your bills on time, but then you find out that you're actually blacklisted in the CRB. So checking your report on this will now help you. If it was a mistake, rather, you can now be able to follow it up, because it can be a case of fraud. Like someone is using your identity to take a loan and they've never paid back. So you're the one who's going to suffer these consequences, and you have a platform where you can just go and check and be able to know these things. Do you have any other reason, like what would be the other reason why you would want to check your report?
So first of all, checking your report once a year is free. Like every Kenyan has the right to check their report. It is free, so information really costs you nothing. But if you do find out that you're listed, the consequences of that are, for the next 5 years, a lending institution, you get listed and it stays on your report for 5 years. So that means when you do want to apply for a loan for something when you really need it, that lender or lending institution won't even look at your application because they see you as a risk. So that's why it would be important to check, to know your financial status with, or rather to know your listing status with the CRB so that you can get money when you really need it.
Yes. And I think another reason why you would be blacklisted, which I didn't know, I was telling her in the morning, is if you don't pay your bills on time, like KPLC. I had no idea that these people can actually send a bad report to the CRB. I had no idea, so please just keep that in your mind.
Yeah.
Paying your bills on time is actually a big thing here. So I think the key thing is just being responsible.
Exactly. And also just remembering when you've taken a loan to pay it back. Sometimes people forget that they do. And, you know, just, I think maybe just as a caution, you know, some people do it and then they throw away their SIM card and they think like that's fine. But it's actually your name and your ID number that is on there. So it doesn't really matter whether you did it through a mobile loan, whether you did it to a banking institution.
Yeah.
You as an identity, you as a person are then like, you know, put in that blacklist and that has consequences. So yeah, you should check your scoring.
Great. So we've now explained what a CRB is. We've explained how you get blacklisted and why it's important to know if you're blacklisted. So the question that we need to answer you guys is, what are the CRBs that we have in Kenya, which is Metropole, TransUnion, and Credit Info.
There are only 3 in Kenya.
Yes.
And there are ways that you can check. So you can check for your free credit report, and once you get it, if you're clear, if you don't have any listing, that's fantastic. You can then apply for a clearance report to, as proof that you haven't been listed, and I think that costs about 2,200 shillings. However, if you find out that you're listed, I think there are 2 scenarios here.
Yes.
It could be that you did take the loan and for whatever reason, circumstances, you weren't able to pay it back, you forgot about it, and that mark is there. And now you want to apply for another loan somewhere. So you need to get, there are things you need to do to go and clear that off the report. And that entails actually paying back that loan.
Yes.
So that it's you know, it's about reestablishing the relationship between you, the lender, the CRB, and saying, okay, hey, I realize I've been listed for whatever reason. I mean, don't be embarrassed. Everybody goes through financial hardships at some point in their life. Reach out to your lender and just say like, hey, I was listed for this and this. This was my circumstance. Can we open up that account, that loan account, and I would like to pay it back. These are maybe the installments or in one go if you're one of those people who are able to do that. And then after that's done and you've cleared your debt, that information now gets sent back to the CRB.
Yes.
And then you can request a clearance report to now show that you're no longer listed.
Yes. And I think also another way that you can probably try and use not to be blacklisted is, sometimes life gets hard and you might have had like a solid plan of repaying back your loan, but something just happened, like an emergency, and you hadn't planned for it, and then you're not in a position to pay. Please don't neglect this phone call that you get from lenders, because that's when they'll be like, this girl is really not going to pay, so let's just send this bad report to CRB. But you see, in the event that you get to answer this phone call and be very honest and just tell them, listen, something came up and I am not in a position to repay back the loan.
Exactly.
As in, I mean, these lenders are also human. They can come up with a payment plan that will work for you. So as much as sometimes you might find it very annoying, just try to be truthful. If you can't pay, then tell them, okay, I will pay by this day. And if things just went south and you don't even know where to start, be honest with them. Just tell them this happened and I don't see myself paying, because I'm sure the two of you and your lender can come into terms and say, okay, then maybe you can be able to pay by November, so please be paying 50 shillings every week. As then you can always come up with something, because that will save you, I think, a lot of time, a lot of money, and a whole lot of process. Just trying to clear yourself from the CRB.
Yeah, that's a good. A stitch in time saves 9.
Yes,
that's what it was. So be proactive and try and stop it from becoming a problem.
Yes.
Because really, there is always a way to get out of something, and I think we're either just shy or embarrassed to talk about our financial problems.
Yes.
And really, we're here to let you know that you shouldn't be. It happens to everybody, and it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a way out.
It's life. Yeah. It happens. We're going to put the links on our description box for all the 3 CRBs so that you can go and get to learn more about what they do and their clearing processes so that you can get clear. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Share with your friends and family. Please tell your friends not to be blacklisted.
Yes.
Tell them to know their status.
Yes.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. Is that like a notification bell on YouTube? Turn on that notification bell.
Yeah.
See you on the next one.
Okay, bye.
Bye.